Welcome back, everyone.
We're now on episode 12.
Yes.
I remembered.
Of
Go
witches,
me.
legends, and ghosts.
Oh my. I just realized that I feel like we only introduced ourselves in the first episode.
That's true.
So I feel like if people were to ever listen to any
other,
episode
they're like,
after
who
that,
the fuck are these people?
Who are these people?
Okay.
I'm Hunter.
I'm Jade. We've been best friends since like forever. And here we are. So that's really all you need to know about us.
That is really all you need to know.
And you'll learn pretty quickly that the only things we ever think about are Stranger Things and existentialism. So
Yes. Those are the two like overarching themes of our whole podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But then every week has its own special theme, and this week's theme is California.
Yes. So anything spooky, urban legend, mythical, having to do with California. So what did you bring us today?
So I brought you two things because I, first of all, couldn't decide, and one of them, I guess isn't like particularly to California, but they've been seen in California.
Okay.
Or not seen, but whatever. Okay.
Okay.
So, I have the Dark Watchers and then also Skinwalkers, which I feel like there are things that I've heard about Skinwalkers that did not come up in my research, so I don't know.
Maybe just say it, what you remember.
Because I thought, at least, maybe I'm getting this confused with a different mythical thing.
Okay.
But the thing I remember from Skinwalkers is that, like, they would mimic you.
Not mimic you, but mimic other humans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, that's where I thought that they, like, mimicked you. And then the entire time I'm doing my research, I'm like, this is not coming up. So I don't know if this is a movie thing or if it's an entirely different mythical creature.
I don't know what that is, but I know that they mimic other things, at least, I mean, I'm sure you're going to tell me from what I know. They mimic other things, like begging for help or like crying out for help or something, so that you go to them, and then who knows what happens after that. Is that similar at all?
Really? It doesn't include. See, I think also like that's what I thought it was too, but it didn't include any of that.
Okay, I'm very
So I don't know if that's like the media version,
or
of
it could be
you know?
maybe there's like different like how there's like Bigfoot and Yeti. It's essentially the same thing, but in different parts of the world. Maybe it's like different skinwalkers, like in the east side on like those mountains are like different than the ones on the west side.
That's true, because the ones that like I'm talking about is like more about it's like Native American like folklore stuff.
Okay,
not like I don't know
Appalachian kind of stuff.
Okay, because see that's my okay. Well, maybe I should just talk about it.
Okay, maybe you
like,
should. I agree. Yeah, let's do it.
So Skinwalkers.
I
guess I'm talking about the like Navajo like Californian West Side Skinwalkers.
Okay.
Because in terms of the West Side Skinwalkers, the exact origin of the myth, like, nobody knows exactly like, where it comes from.
Okay.
But it's generally it's about, like, an evil witch who can change their shape or take possession of other animals or other people. So, like, it's almost like they're a beast themselves controlling other beasts type thing.
Okay.
So that's where, like, the whole echoing thing, I don't know, like, it doesn't come into play here. Exactly.
But it could if they're mimicking if they're being other people.
But they're not. They could change their shape.
Yeah.
But they also, like, can possess others. So if they could possess other people, wouldn't they just, like, possess them and have them, like, I don't know, like...
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
do you have pictures of what some people think, like, animal skinwalkers are? Like, because I've seen stuff online before. People are like, this thing here doesn't look like a natural deer. And then they were like, speculating that it was a skinwalker because it looked, like, weird.
Oh. Yeah. No, I don't have any of those pictures.
I don't have them either. I don't know. I could not. It just looked like, like Uncanny Valley. Like, that kind of, that saying?
No.
Okay, so it's like when something is like eerily similar, but something's still off. So like that's what this deer, it like looked like a deer, but there were some things that were just like slightly off about it, and it didn't look like a deer at the same time.
I've never heard of this. So people think that these almost pictures of animals are skinwalkers.
Yeah.
So, I guess, can you tell me what you know about your version of skinwalkers?
What I know is not a lot. I know that they can take the shape of animals that they, from what I thought, would mimic human speech and like be crying or saying help or something like that. And I've even heard videos where you can like hear something, like someone's like walking through the woods and they like hear something off in the distance and it's like, oh, it's bone chilling. That. But I think that's specifically like the Appalachian kind of stuff that I see a lot of TikToks about.
Oh, so it's all TikToks. Got it.
Mainly, yes.
Okay, so let me just run through
my
thing.
Okay, I'm ready.
So, I guess the abilities of the Navajo skinwalkers, it's alluded to in the Navajo phrase, forgive me for my pronunciation, Yi Nadlushi, which means with it, he goes on all fours. So, like...
Oh, I hate that a lot.
Yeah.
Oh.
Very,
That's awful.
Very creepy. But, so in my research, it was kind of confusing because a lot of it says that in Navajo tradition, skinwalkers were once healers and medicine men who were basically like either corrupted by their own power or they like were like what's the word? They were actively participating in like dark magic essentially.
Okay.
And like basically just like the dark magic like took them over.
So is there any similarity between these and Wendigos?
That came up a lot in my research. It didn't, like, I'm not talking about Wendigos at all.
Right.
But it definitely talked about how there are some similarities. So I don't know what Wendigos are. I didn't look into that because I figured that could be its, like, own thing
for sure, yeah.
But I'm sure when one of us talks about Wendigos, like, we can, like, also, like, incorporate
allude back
that.
to it,
Allude back to this.
But what we'll have to do is play Until Dawn.
I love Until Dawn.
I love it. I also own it. So
oh, you do?
Yeah.
I've never played it. I've just seen...
Isla used to come over here and she'd be like, I want to play Until Dawn. And I'd be like, okay. So she would just like play an hour. You know, it goes by like, it starts, you've seen it.
Yeah.
You've seen it. So it goes by like hour by hour. So it's like, those are like the different chapters. And then you like go in and talk to like a therapist or whatever. And then that's what like continues on. And then that's what usually ends the chapters. But it's like hour by hour. So it's like 1 hour until dawn or like whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So she would just come over and she'd play like a chapter here and there. And just like, that was it.
How many did she kill in the end?
She never got to the end. She always just kept restarting.
Isla. That's cheating. Although, okay, I will say that the one like game that I've actually played front to back, well, actually that's two. Life is Strange, which is really good, and Detroit Become Human. That's
and you had me play that one.
That is the one that I've ever played, and I made a bad mistake one time, and I did restart because I refused to let the main character like die, even though he comes back. But like, I didn't want it to ruin his relationship with other characters, like. So it's not just like, oh, he was gonna die, and I didn't want that. Like, he was gonna come back because he's a machine, so he's not like, you know, he doesn't technically die, whatever. But I didn't want him dying because then he'd like restart his memory to like lose relationship with the other character because like I love their relationship. So
I know exactly who you're talking about too.
Big. It's not like technically cheating.
And then I did it in one night when we were staying over at your aunt's, and I made the absolute worst mistake, and I wish
what was the mistake? Do you remember?
Yeah, I do. I vividly remember.
Oh no. Is it towards the end?
Kind of. It's within the last, like, 2 parts, I think.
Does that have to do with a certain older police officer man?
No.
Oh.
It has to do with one of the other machines that looks like a character from Grey's Anatomy.
I don't watch Grey's Anatomy. Okay. How am I supposed to know what that means?
Well, don't tell me. I don't know his name. But I killed him. I got him killed. And I didn't know that that was going to happen if you continued. And I got him killed, and there was no way for him to come back, and then that was it. And so it just continued the rest of the game without him.
Okay,
and
no, I remember.
Yeah, because you were like, I was like, you were like, I didn't do that. I was like, oh.
Oh no!
And then I
remember being so devastated.
I was devastated.
I was like, Jade, why did you do that?
I thought it.
Jade.
I mean, I know for next time.
That's the point of the game, is so that everybody takes their own like different paths and stuff.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah. It was awful. It was traumatizing.
I don't even think we really knew at the time, like, he was never going to come back or whatever.
No.
But.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you were like, well, the other character would come back, so, like, maybe he'll come back. And then it just kept going.
It just kept going.
And we were like, oh, he's not coming back.
Devastating. But, okay, so Until Dawn. Yeah, no. Wendigos. I've never played that game. We should definitely play it.
100%.
But I don't know. Last time I like watched somebody play it, it was very boring. So I hope it's different when you're. See, my thing with games is that I get really stressed out when I'm playing them, and it's not that enjoyable if I'm like really stressed out. Because I really want all the characters to turn out exactly how I want them to. But that's really not how the game works.
It is. I need if to, you play it enough.
I know, but. Like, you're gonna have to give me all the... Because I know that, like, towards
would you want me to tell you what to do to be able to get started?
I would, like, deep inside I would. But on the surface level, I feel like it'd be more interesting if I did.
It would be more interesting.
I don't play the games as deeply as you do. So, like, I know that I think with this game, like, you need to, like, look at all the stuff so that you get, like, knowledge about future things and you can, like, say certain things. Because that, like, I don't know. Like, at least when I saw, like, you need to, like, look at things and, like... do like side things to be able to like keep some characters alive. Mm-hmm. And I'm definitely not going to be doing that because I am not looking at all the pages on the walls and stuff, so they're all gonna die.
It's so interesting to me because so I just finished playing a game called Horizon Zero Dawn, and it was so good, and the story itself was incredible. Like, mm-hmm. I just kept wanting to play so I could understand, like, what happened. Like, genuinely. I was, like, sucked in. And the main character is, like, a girl that's, like, 19 years old. And so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because she's, like, badass and awesome. And I was like, what if this is, like, the first PC game that I ever, like, got. And then actually played through. Mm-hmm. Besides Sims. But that doesn't really count.
No.
And I was like, what if this is the first game that I, like, 100%? Like, what if I get all of the achievements for this one game? I was like, that'd be impressive. So I just finished playing through, and I played through story mode, which means that the boss battles and, like, combat and stuff is easier, so you can focus on the story specifically. Mm-hmm. But I finished it, and I unlocked every single achievement, except for one where you play New Game Plus, which is just, like, you play the game again, but with all of your same skills and inventory that you had from the other game. Mm. And the other one that I have to do is complete it on ultra hard mode. So I'm doing a New Game Plus on ultra hard mode so I can get those last two achievements so I can 100% the game.
See, I don't play games like that.
And that's the only way I play games.
I play games for the characters, for the story, not for goals.
Oh,
there's no goals for me.
I have to have goals or else I'm like...
You definitely do. She has, like, a little cheat sheet of all the things that she needs to accomplish in her games, and I'm just like,
I do.
But the interactions, but the characters, but the storyline.
If you're on YouTube, I have this little notebook that I keep in front of my computer that has all of the different things. I'm gonna put it close to the microphone so you can hear all the different pages. And this last one is the Horizon Zero Dawn achievements. And as you can see, the only ones I don't have are the all achievements obtained, New Game Plus completed, and ultra hard completed.
Stress.
No, it's great. Anyway,
Wendigos. Wendigos. Yes.
Wendigos and Skinwalkers.
Wendigos did come up, but I'm not talking about those.
Right, Skinwalkers.
So back to Skinwalkers.
Oh, geez.
One of the theories is that they were healers or medicine men who were corrupted by their own power and turned to evil. And I guess, like, I can't remember anything about Star Wars, but people, like, in all my research, they kept making, like, jokes about how they're similar to, like, Sith Lords. Do you know anything about Sith Lords in Star Wars?
Yeah. Can you repeat what they were medicine men
and who were corrupted by their own power and turned to evil?
That is exactly, yeah. Because it's like, if you have the Force, then you can either choose to be good or be bad, basically. So it's like choose, I say lightly, but like the Jedis are like the good ones. They're the ones that like just they operate on peace, and they don't attack unless they've been attacked first, and it's very like they're trying to like they don't want to kill people. It's very like peaceful. And then it's like the Sith Lords operate on like anger rather than like peace.
Okay.
And so they want revenge. They want like this, they want that. But so they all really started neutral. And then they just kind of like were either corrupted by the power because they knew that by being evil they would be able to get more power. That's what happened with Anakin.
Okay.
And he harbored a lot of anger and resentment, and because of that it turned to him becoming bad.
Because I've watched, I swear I watched all the Star Wars movies, but there is one that I did not watch, just like one that I didn't watch. I thought the movies were grouped in threes.
Yeah, they are.
And for some reason, just one of them from the newest three, that doesn't, it's not like, it doesn't follow the Rey, what's her name? With the buns in her hair?
Yeah, Rey.
It doesn't follow her. It follows, like, they made a TV show called Anthor or something that's, like, based off of, like, this one movie. I think it's the newest one.
Oh.
What's the newest one? Do you know the newest one?
Like the newest one from that trilogy?
Yes,
or...
I think.
Wasn't it? Was that Rise of Skywalker?
No, it doesn't have to. The newest one doesn't.
Well, then
have
it's
to
not
do
in a
Star
trilogy.
Wars.
Then it's not in a trilogy because they have the main ones, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But then they also have intermittent ones like Han, like Solo, and like whatever that one that was about the Death Star and stuff.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen Rogue One.
Rogue One is so good. Oh,
that's the one I haven't seen.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, that one happens before the 4th movie. So before.
Wow, that's so oddly specific. Like the first movie and the second.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like where you meet Luke and Leia and stuff. So this happens.
Okay.
So like, you know how in the 4th one, because you have seen that one, right?
Yes.
How it starts with like they got the blueprints of the Death Star to be able to like go in and infiltrate and like.
Yes.
So this movie is them, how you get to see how they got the blueprints and sent to them.
Oh, okay. Because I remember they do, like, they like talk about it. They have like the thing up and they're like talking.
Yeah.
And they like send people to get it or something.
Yeah.
So this is like the people that like got it for them.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Yeah, no, I haven't seen that one.
Oh,
I thought that was part
it.
of one of the
so
threes.
Good. No, it's not. It's so good.
That new movie, the new show that came out on Disney Plus, I forgot what it's called. It starts with an A. I don't know why I keep saying Anthor. That's not it. But I guess that guy is in Rogue One. Like, his character is in Rogue One, so they made a whole TV show off of, like, this one specific guy. And I was like, the whole time I'm watching this trailer for this show, I'm like, I've never seen this man. I don't know what this storyline is. I'm so confused. And
who is this man?
Because I was like, I swear I've seen all of, like, the threes. I swear I've seen the 3 threes.
Yeah.
And I did. But I did not see Solo, and I did not see Rogue One.
Okay, you haven't seen Solo either.
I haven't.
That's a good one, too. I like that they were going back and, like, doing those ones. It's cool to be able to see, like, especially with Solo, it's cool to be able to see how... I think I've seen that movie like 3 times.
Really? It's really good?
I really like that one.
Well, because he dies. So, like, pretty, like, rapidly and pretty, like, out of nowhere he dies.
Yeah, I know.
So I feel like you do need something else to his story, because it wasn't, like, a drawn-out death. It was really just like, okay.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, the story moves on. Got it. Because it was at the beginning, too, wasn't it?
No, it was towards the end.
Oh, why did I think it was in
It was towards the end of the 7th one.
Okay.
I was like...
You could have just said first or second.
I was gonna say first.
Okay.
But then I was like, but it's technically not.
It's technically
the
not.
First of the third
set. So yes, people attribute like skinwalkers to Sith Lords.
I fully get that.
And even though I'm a Star Wars fan, I couldn't tell you what a Sith Lord was, but now I know. They're the
red. They're the red ones.
Red things.
The red
okay.
ones. Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
So other than like being corrupted by your own power, another way that people could become skinwalkers was breaking of their tribal tattoos. So like I guess if they like got cut, or if they like did something to the tattooed something on top of the tattoo that like broke the thing.
Oh my god, but that's awful. If you got cut,
I know,
like if you're in like a battle or something and you accidentally get injured, what, all of a sudden now you're just a skinwalker?
Yeah, because I don't know, I didn't look into like what exactly a tribal tattoo like means for the Navajos, but I'm sure it means something important. So if it's broken, it's like you broke a promise or something, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you get corrupted and you become a skinwalker.
Awful.
Yes.
Do we know what skinwalkers look like?
Well, no, because
they transform.
They transform. Yes. There is no, like,
official
thing. There's no thing. I can, like, look up what they say,
I feel
though.
like that's creepier. When we don't know
I know,
exactly
I was gonna say, if you
like.
don't know what it looks like.
There's a movie that's like that, where the whole time you know that there's something hunting these people, but you don't actually see it.
Is it
like at all?
Is it that one where they're like is it that one where there has what's her name?
It's an old movie.
Okay, never mind. So a lot of people, when it comes to skinwalkers, they picture them basically like as werewolves. So I would picture a werewolf because for some reason, like, the big animal that, like, the Navajo turn into is like a wolf. So, like,
that's very interesting.
Yeah, a lot of the artwork and stuff when it comes to skinwalkers is like them turning into wolves.
Okay.
Because I thought, like, I swear I saw this one piece of art about a skinwalker and it was like a deer. Like, I thought deer was the big thing.
That's
but
what I
that
thought
must
too.
be like an Easter thing.
Which
makes sense because we feel like we have a lot of, I don't know what specific animals are in California, but I know that we have a lot of deer on the East Coast.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe there's more wolves on the West than there is.
I just know there's not a lot of wolves in general, which is sad.
No. Where was this coming from? Oh, in my research for the next episode, it talks about wolves a little bit.
Oh.
It's weird that it's coming up now.
Huh.
The population part. Because, like, the population part has to do a little bit, like, the tiniest bit.
Oh, that's really interesting.
The other thing that I'm covering. But, yes, there's no wolves anymore, guys.
Kyle and I were talking about that, and I was saying, I was like, when I was younger, how they do, like, okay, so there's a park that's in Michigan that's called Kensington Metric Park. And they do, like, every 2 or 3 years, they do, like, a cull of the deer. And I knew that. And when I was younger, I was, like, devastated, right? Like, I just thought that was the most awful thing. And Papa had to, like, sit me down. And he had to show me this video about Yellowstone and how they got rid of all of the wolves in Yellowstone and how the deer started going out of control and everything started dying, including the vegetation, because it was overrun and blah, 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 and all this stuff. And then they reintroduced the wolves to Yellowstone and it fixed itself. And because we as humans are stupid and ran out the wolves or killed them all from our area, then they have to do it because otherwise it will go out of control, because wolves don't come down here at all to be able to actually hunt them. And that's awful. And I hate it. And oh my God, there was an albino deer there.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
There were 2. There was a mom that had 2 babies and then there was like a male one. And they did the cull one year and they were like, do not hunt these ones. Like, these ones are very rare. Don't do it. And then, of course, some asshole did it. And he was like, I thought there was snow on the deer, and that's what the white was.
Yep. On every inch of the deer? Snow on every inch? Oh.
Yeah, people were pissed.
I can imagine. There's something else. Oh, there's, like, this blue whale that was albino. Can you imagine? Dude, yes. Have you not seen? Oh, my God.
No.
There's this famous albino blue whale. Albino blue whale. Gorgeous. Like, look at this child.
Oh?
It's, like, so mythical.
Yeah, it is.
Especially because the water's so dark. And then the whale is bright. Just white. Just, like, straight white.
Oh, my God.
I know. Oh, it's a humpback whale. Not... Oh, yeah. They named it, of course. I'm pretty sure he died. Somebody killed him, I think. I'm pretty sure he was, like, found in, like... Oh. This says he was washed up on the beach. Dead.
So maybe he died of natural causes.
Yes.
Hopefully.
I don't think he was found, like...
Murdered.
The murdered whale. Nigaloo. But yeah, beautiful.
So
skinwalkers. Okay, yes. Oh, that was my next point. Was that they were frequently imagined in the form of monstrous, like coyotes or wolves or bears, I guess.
Oh.
And they're said to be nearly impossible to kill, except for
whiskey.
Guess. No, not everything goes back to whiskey. The jackalopes are not here right now. But according to, like, lore, a bullet or a knife rubbed in white ash will kill them.
White ash.
Yeah, so not just a bullet, not just a knife, but a bullet rubbed in white ash or a knife rubbed in white ash.
What makes...
I don't know.
Okay.
But then, like you said, like we were talking about, like, at the beginning, like, other tribes throughout, like, America have their own version of a skinwalker.
Okay.
So, like, what'd you say? The
Appalachian?
Appalachian.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to sound so ignorant. Is that a tribe? I know that we have the Appalachian, whatever, mountains. Those are the mountains, and that's where a lot of the skinwalkers are seen. But I don't know if that's
we don't
a
know
tribe.
what tribe over there. There is a tribe over there, but I don't know what tribe. I can
That one.
pause, unpause. So this says that, I guess, Cherokee natives were in the south of the Appalachian area.
Okay.
But on the rest of it, there was, like, Iroquois, Powhatan, and Shawnee. So, a mix.
Okay.
The next, one of the questions is, what ethnicity is Appalachia? White. Yes, probably.
White.
But this says the Apache in Hopi. Apache in Hopi. Those are just different, like, Native Americans that have their own interpretation of what a skinwalker might be. And I tried to look it up, but I think if you use the word skinwalker, I tried to find it using the word skinwalker, because what else am I supposed to call it?
Right.
And everything that came up was just, like, skinwalker. So I couldn't find, like, different. I literally tried to look up, like, different Native American skinwalkers, different forms of skinwalker, and, like, the only thing that I can find is, like, this one. So I'm sure, like, this says there's different things, but they're not called skinwalkers.
They're called something else. Okay.
So I wasn't able to find it.
Okay, interesting. Maybe that's where, like, the Wendigo thing comes in. Maybe. Other tribes call them Wendigos or whatever.
I didn't think about that. So the last thing I have is this only came up on one of the websites that I was using to research, and it's just, like, another theory about what the skinwalkers are. Okay. So this says that the Nagloshi were agents for the holy people. So the holy people in Navajo is, like, the Adam and Eve, like, the first people, basically.
Okay.
The holy people were the first people. And the Nagloshi were, like, agents for the, like, god that were, like, sent down to, like, teach, like, the people, like, the blessed way. So, like, I'm assuming that these are sort of, like, angel-ish creatures, because this website compares them to, like, fallen angels. So the Nagloshi were supposed to, like, teach people the blessing way, and then they're supposed to leave. They're not, like, mortal, so they aren't supposed to stay on, like, the mortal plane, like, on Earth.
Yeah.
But the Nagloshi that chose to stay, because they are more powerful there, so they had, like, greed, and, like, that greed and desire to, like, stay on the mortal plane, like, corrupted them and transformed them into, like, semi-divine beings. So some tribes differentiate the Nagloshi from skinwalkers. And
interesting.
some of them say that they're, like, the same thing.
Them? That's really interesting.
Yeah. So the Nagloshi, I guess, are, like, as this website says, is, like, equivalent of, like, a fallen angel. Whereas, like, some tribes differentiate skinwalkers to being, like, black magic, like, corrupted by power things. Not, like,
fallen angels.
Not
fallen angels.
So, yeah.
That's really interesting.
I know. When I read that, I was like, oh, that's, like, way different, like, from the other like, theories.
It's just also, it's very interesting because it has nothing to do with what I thought it was about.
Right? So, I from what you told me, and then, like, what I was researching, there's, like, so many different types of skinwalkers.
Yeah.
And the one I could primarily find information about was the, like, Navajo version of skinwalker. Or Nagloshi, whatever one you want to go with.
Right, exactly.
So that's what I came with.
Beautiful.
Oh, wait. Oh, I forgot that I had two things.
So she has one more thing.
I have one more thing. I'll go really quick. So the Dark Watchers, picture like...
Right, the Dark Watchers. Okay.
Picture like... This is how I picture them.
Okay.
I picture like cowboys. Like old cowboys or farm women that were super tall, like 15 feet. 7 to 15 feet, this says. That just like stay on the mountains and like... They're like spirits of the mountains, basically. Okay. They were like, people think that they're like past travelers or something. At first when I read this, thought they were like, I was picturing like mountain trolls, like really big mountain trolls. That's not like what they're going for. But the Dark Watchers are basically just dark figures that people have seen like while walking through the Santa Lucia Mountains, that just like stare at you. I have this picture of them.
No.
They're pretty creepy. Okay. Wow. I don't like that.
No.
If I'm walking.
Okay. If you're not looking on YouTube, this man or
this
person this creature is standing there, glowing eyes, black silhouette with like a bowler hat and like a cloak.
Yes.
So, like, you can't see any definition of anything except they're wearing a cloak for sure.
Yes. I was going to say, they're typically, like, wearing hats of some sort.
They are.
And they're wearing, like, flowy clothes. And some of them, like, they're typically seen, these pictures don't show it, but they typically have some sort of staff with them.
Oh.
But they're literally, like, 7 to 15 feet tall. Just, like, you can't see, like, any defining features at all. Just, like, their eyes.
I hate that.
Watching you.
That's awful.
Literally just watching
That's
you.
Awful.
This says that, I guess it was the Spanish explorers who, like, first saw these creatures and called them Las Vigilantes Oscuros, which literally means the Dark Watchers.
Okay.
And so then when the American settlers made their way over to these mountains, they also reported feeling watched from above.
Oh.
So they're like humanoid entities.
Right.
Wearing wide-brimmed hats. And they have those sticks in their hands. And they're silent. They don't ever talk. Literally, like, they're just staring at you.
So
nobody knows why.
I was gonna say, has there been any, like, reports of them, like, doing anything to people?
I have one.
Okay.
Ooh, let me find it. Oh. This person says that their grandmother often told tales of her days when she was a young teacher, and she would ride through the remote woods of the mountain on her way to teach, and she told them that she saw the Watchers several times and often traded with them. Or she would leave gifts of, like, fruit, nuts, and flowers near, like on the mountain, like, near where she typically, like, traded with them. Okay. And so, like, that's how she got gifts. So, like, she would trade with them by, like, leaving things, and then she would come back. There were, like, gifts there for her. So, like, aren't they kind of nice?
No, they do sound nice. They do. Genuinely, when you said they just stand there and watch, I feel like it gives me, like protective vibes where they're just trying to make sure that you're not going to, like, fuck with their mountain. They're like, don't litter.
Like, this is my area. You can do what you want in it as long as you don't mess it
Destroy
up, basically. For some reason, this also says that they only reveal themselves to travelers who are carrying simple possessions. So, like, so people who, like, come up with their high-tech stuff, like, what are those things called? Drones? Like, you won't find them. Like, you have to be, like, a more simple-minded traveler for them to, like, reveal themselves to you.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they don't do anything. They don't, like, do anything bad. It's not like, oh, you shouldn't go to this area. It's like,
it's just like, oh, if you go to this area, they're going to be there.
I feel like if you're as nature-minded as I'm assuming these entities are, then they'll reveal themselves to you, and if you want to trade with them, they'll willing to trade with you.
Leave gifts.
Isn't that cute?
I really like that.
I know, right? At first I'm like, oh, these pictures are terrifying, but, like, they're
chill.
They're just chilling on their mountain, guys.
They're just tall and sticks, chilling on their mountain.
They're just going for walks, trading fruit for gifts and stuff. Like, that's all they want.
They just have a rucksack. That's what's in their staff.
That's what I'm picturing. Like, I'm picturing, like, a little like a coin purse filled with like nuts.
Yes.
Like on
Yes.
top of it.
Absolutely. Little bit of berries in there
Yes, a
too.
little bit of berries, of course. Some dried cranberries, maybe. Like
They dehydrated it themselves.
they did. You know they did. Using the sun of the St.
Obviously.
Lucia Mountains.
Obviously. Oh yeah, our friend Bella dehydrated oranges for us.
Yes.
And so I have mine hanging up. You can't see it.
They're like on a string.
It's
She like
very
puts
cute.
cinnamon on some of them. They smell very good.
Yes.
They are very cute.
Yeah. And thankfully it's like high enough up that the cats have not tried to mess with it.
Yes.
So that's good.
I didn't think about that, but yeah, my cat definitely will start chowing down.
Oh
so.
yeah. So
that's what I had. What do you have, Jade?
I have a haunted lighthouse.
Ooh.
So this is the Point Sur Lighthouse. I will show you a picture of where it is located.
Oh, it's very pretty.
It is, yes. Okay, so it is located at Point Sur. Okay, makes sense.
I feel like where is this in California? Do you know?
Monterey, south of Monterey.
I don't know where that is. But I feel like when I went to California with my family, we were going to go see a lighthouse. So I wonder if it was this lighthouse. The name sounds familiar.
That would be great.
But, yeah. So anyways.
So, it is at the peak of a 361-foot rock, and it stands 40 feet tall, and it is 270 feet above sea level. It is still currently in operation.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. And throughout its past, it has had 4 different light sources. Mm-hmm. So it started with using an oil wick lamp.
Okay.
And then they started using an oil vapor lamp in which they used whale oil, lard oil, and kerosene. And then they went to electricity in the 1950s.
Okay.
Which is not something I ever thought about. That
no
lighthouses were a thing before electricity was.
So
they
before.
way before. And then it says 4 different light sources. That is only 3, but I think they count their current one as a separate one because it went to electricity, but now it's like operated automatically. Like it's an automatic thing.
Right.
Like they don't need a keeper there.
Right.
That's so I think
sad.
that's like the 4th
Guys, let's go back to the days when we needed people for things. Well, oh my god, what was something that I was like thinking about? Oh, like me and my family went to Canada to go on a ski trip, and one of the gas stations we stopped at, and one of the gas stations that me and Bella stopped at when we were doing our road trip, there are people there who pump your gas for you.
Yeah.
Like, that's their job.
That used to be a thing.
I know. And now every gas station, you do it yourself. Can we bring that back?
Yeah.
In the winters of Michigan, I do not want to be going out to pump. Like,
Absolutely
get out there.
not.
I will tip you plenty.
For sure.
If you pump my gas for me so I do not have to get out of my warm car.
Yeah.
But there's so many jobs like that. Like, let's go back to the simple days where we had a person up there in the lighthouse.
I know.
Come on.
I know.
And they lived up there. Oh, the life.
And not just one.
Oh.
They had 4. There was a head keeper and 3 assistant keepers.
Okay.
And then the families of the keepers also lived there.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It was a party.
Oh, it was a party.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, this place was relatively isolated. There wasn't there was no road attaching to a main road for years and years and years. You had to walk forever to be able to get to a main road to be able to go anywhere else. So, because of that, they basically had to be self-sustaining.
Yes.
So they had a well and pump at the station. They had a barn and blacksmith shop.
Oh my god.
They had a carpenter shop with supplies for keepers to do their own maintenance. So they had to do literally everything. And then they also had, obviously, the lamp tower. They had the oil room where they kept all of the oil before they would change it. And then they had a fog signal room. And all of those things were in one building.
Because this is giving me vibes where we didn't have literally it gives me tribe vibes. We all had our own little towns. We didn't really leave them. Every town was self-sustaining. It had every single thing that you ever needed in it.
This was built, so it was finished being built, and the first lantern was lit on August 1st, 1889.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah. So, before it was built, though, this place had been a really big hazard for a lot of ships, and there were a lot of shipwrecks. And then it got even worse when the California gold rush happened and even more people were trying to get there, and there were a lot of shipwrecks. And so they were like, okay, we need to build a lighthouse here.
There's something going on here.
There are 15 notable shipwrecks. I'm not going to go into all of them because it would be, you wouldn't get anything out of me saying the date and the name of the ship.
No.
But one of the most disastrous ones happened in 1894. So this was even after the lighthouse was built and there were still shipwrecks. But this one was the SS Los Angeles, and the only witnesses of this were the survivors. The captain of the ferry Eureka met the survivors at the Pacific Coast Steamships Company wharf in Los Angeles and discouraged them from talking to reporters.
Oh.
I don't know. He was like, don't tell them that you got into this accident.
We'll have to shut down the lighthouse because it's clearly not working.
Exactly. Yeah. So in 1972 is when the U.S. Coast Guard made the lighthouse automated, which is a long time ago. 1972. That was before my mom was born. And you're, right?
Yeah. By a couple years.
Yeah. So after that, no lighthouse keepers were needed. And now it is a state historic park, and it has tours that you can take. So maybe it was something that you were going to go to.
Yeah.
So onto the ghosts, because of course that's what we're all here for.
Yes, onto the ghosts.
None of them are malevolent at all. They're all very nice. There is a tall man that is wearing dark blue 19th century clothing, and they think he could be one of the old lighthouse keepers, or could be someone who died in a shipwreck caused by the surrounding area. Yeah. That's where they think a lot of the people are, like shipwreck ghosts. Victims. Yeah. Some people think as many as 12 different spirits are all in this lighthouse. Yeah, I know.
They are having a party.
They are.
Have you seen the show Ghosts at all?
No.
Oh my god. There is a show. And I've watched the American version because they made an American one and it's like coming out with episodes like now.
Currently?
Yeah. But it's based off of, I think it's on HBO. But it's based off of a UK show, and the UK one is really bad. Their humor is just, like, not good. I'm sorry to all the English people, like, no. But the American one is so fucking funny. There's, like, a Native American ghost in it. There's a Viking ghost. There's, like, a person from the 20s ghost, and there's, like, a gay revolutionary, like, general ghost. Yes. It's so fucking, like, literally, it's so funny.
What is, like, what are they?
So, like, there's a mansion, of course, and the old lady who owned the mansion died, and so the mansion was passed down to her, like, great-great-great-granddaughter or something, I don't know how old. And her husband go to the mansion, and they're like, we're just gonna sell this so that we can keep living in LA, but you know, we don't really like all the fast-pacedness of LA or New York or wherever the fuck they're from. So we'll just move here and open this up as a motel, like. And she, like, falls down the stairs and hits her head, and all of a sudden she can, like, see the ghost. So, like, the beginning, it's like you have all the ghosts, like, they're bitching about these people in their house because the old lady died and she was, like, didn't really move. But now they're, like, renovating it and tearing down walls, and all the ghosts have their bedrooms, and, like, why is she taking my bedroom? Like, that's where I sleep in. And at first it's like them and that's then the humans, but then like she can see the ghosts, and so like they get to interact, but her husband can't see the ghosts, so like she's talking to like the ghosts and they're like laughing and they're like making fun of her husband, and he's like, what are they talking about? And she's like, oh, nothing. It's really funny.
So he believes her though?
Well, it took a while, but then like yeah, he eventually, because the ghost, like, I guess it takes a lot of power to like manipulate things.
Yes.
So like there's, like, this one scene where they're trying to get her to, like, see them because they're trying to, like, scare them and haunt them out of the house. And it's, like, taking all this power for this one dude to, like, push something over because all the ghosts have their own powers. And this is the only dude who can, like, push things. And it's, like, so funny because they're just, like, talking. The humans are talking, and then all of a sudden it, like, cuts to the ghost, and he's, like, screaming, trying to push it off. And then it goes back to the quiet conversation that the people are having. And he doesn't push the vase over, of course, until they leave the room, because at that point it's been, like, 5 minutes, and he still hasn't done it. It's hilarious. But
that sounds fantastic.
it is. I think you would really... Oh, my God. And the humor. The humor. Because they, like... It's, like, a woke show. So they, like, make jokes about, like... They're talking about land, and the Native Americans, like... talking about how it's my land, I was here first, but he's like reluctant because he's like, it doesn't matter anymore, you know what I mean? It's really hilarious. And then of course the Viking has no idea anything about like social interactions.
Why is he there?
Literally, he's like Thor. He literally is like Thor. He's a himbo. That's what he is. He's a himbo. No wonder I like him.
I was gonna say, anyways, it makes sense.
Anyways, yes, it's funny. So yes, they're having a party just like that show goes. Like that I love.
I love that. So you can volunteer to like do these guided tours and stuff, like to be the tour guide.
Okay.
And so this one woman volunteers there, and she specifically does so because she knows that there's ghosts there, and she wants to like interact with them.
I love that.
Yes,
that's me and you.
Yes.
If we ever move to like a town like this, we should just volunteer. We like get a job at the local museum with haunted stuff.
100%, that would be us. Well, I was saying that. So there's a really fancy ass restaurant in Detroit called the Whitney. And we were walking past it because we went to the DIA last week, and it was like it was so expensive apparently to like eat there. We didn't eat there that day but it's like hella expensive for okay food, I've heard. I've never been there, but it is apparently haunted, and you can go on ghost tours. So I was saying that we should do that one time, and then we can like do an episode like covering our experience.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So anyway,
so the Whitney.
So, this woman brings a tape recorder to be able to try and like, interact with them, and so she got some really creepy stuff. Really? Like I know they're all good and they don't do anything bad. But, like, I don't like it. Yeah. So an eerie female voice whispered, "Now she wants you to go home."
That's so scary.
But
also, like, I'm picturing all the ghosts are talking. They're like, it'd be so fucking funny if we said some whack ass shit and creep the fuck out of these people. When they're all like, I'm picturing like them all giggling while the one lady's like saying that. She's like whispering it, and they're all like, say this, no, say this. That's what I'm picturing.
Is exactly what's happening.
But if I was there in that moment, that's not what I would be picturing.
No.
I would be picturing somebody like wanting to murder me.
Yeah, because then the next thing, this one's kind of funny actually. This one is another woman saying, "Pokey, go to bed."
That's me.
So
that would be me as a girl.
This one is the voice of a woman who is married to one of the lighthouse keepers and was telling their daughter, whose nickname was Pokey, to go
That is so funny.
I know. And then apparently in this same recording, you can hear what sounds like a little girl responding and then like running away.
Fuck you, Mom! Runs all the way down the stairs.
Runs away. They're all the way at the top.
That's what I'm picturing. Fuck you, Mom! Slams door. You just hear
it's
footsteps
like
for like 5 minutes, just
slowly
tiny little children footsteps. Running as fast as they can.
Okay, and then a different...
Wait, and then you hear them fall down a couple stairs. It's quiet.
I'm okay.
And then...
Have you seen, there's a video of this kid who's wearing like a Minion costume?
No.
And he's like... he's like running for like Halloween.
Okay.
And he like trips over his own legs or something, and he just falls face first onto the ground. He can't get up because the arms are so he like arms. And he's just there. He's like, "I'm okay," as he's like trying to move out of it. And there's another one sad. It's not the same kid. Where there's another kid who's in a costume that's like a robot costume, but it's made out of a cardboard box.
Okay, yes.
So his arms are just sticking out of the cardboard box, and he's walking, and he falls, and then his arms just disappear in. It's great. Anyway. Children. Another EVP, a different one, got someone saying, "She wants you to go now."
I think it's time that you should leave.
I think it's time for you to leave. And then another one was, "You liar, you kissed her." Which begs the question. There had to have been some tea there, some infidelity between the families.
There's only
oh my
12
god, they're probably
ghosts.
swingers.
Like, there's only 12 ghosts. You know, I'm assuming they can't leave the property. They're just waiting for someone else to die. They're like, who else is gonna die and join us? Come on.
Yeah, and then they're all fighting over that person.
Yes.
Okay, and then there's a spirit whose name is Ruth that used to live there, and she still haunts the kitchen because she really liked to cook.
Okay.
And so what they did is they renovated the kitchen to look like how it did in the 1950s when she cooked there.
Cool.
So that she can like remember the area and like use it again. And so she often closes the doors and like cabinets and stuff in the kitchen, so you know that she's rummaging around in there.
Oh, that is
so
literally
cute?
the cutest thing.
Yeah. So
Ruth.
I love that. And then there is a ghost of an unnamed woman who has her hair up and she wears long sleeves and like a really poofy long skirt. Mm-hmm. It's like kind of like 1950s style. Okay. I wonder, it could be Ruth. It really could be.
Okay.
But the only thing we know about this is that it like looked at a person, they looked at her, and then she vanished. And that was the only interaction. That was it. It was because like you're looking around, and then it's like, and then she just disappears.
Literally, she was like, look at these people. Oh shit, that one can see me. What the fuck?
And then disappears, and that's it. Never seen again.
I love that so fucking much.
And then the last one. There was a ghost that looked at someone through the living room window of the lighthouse keeper's house, but it was like locked and there was actually nobody inside, and then they just like disappeared.
They're like, these fucking people.
Yeah, and then they just go back to bed.
Literally, they're like, oh god, who's out there? Yeah, they look like losers.
Yeah, okay, bye. And that's it.
Those are all the lighthouse. Okay, so then if we ever are in California for anything, we have to visit and we have to leave Ruth a little treat.
Absolutely.
We have to yell at Pokey to go to sleep.
Yes.
And we have to
yell at the man who kissed her. Like, what the heck?
How dare he?
How dare you?
I mean, they could be gay. We have to yell at the person who... Adultery.
Yeah. How dare you?
How dare you?
You liar, you kissed her.
You liar, you kissed her.
Okay.
On to the cards.
That brings
us to the cards will tell.
Ew.
You're welcome. You want to go?
Sure. Okay. So we have kunzite. If you have not seen our TikTok of us pulling it, go check that out.
It's a very beautiful stone. It's like...
It is. It's
pale
like,
pink with some clear white on there. Oh my god, it's very
like
gorgeous.
In a little bit of purple where it's like darker. And yeah, it's very nice. Okay, so what it is a high vibe lithium infused lilac pink stone that glows with an energy that could be described in a word as cuddly.
Oh.
Who needs it? Anyone with a heavy heart about something, or collectors of good vibrations. Where to put it? Place on your heart and breathe deeply of kunzite's cotton candy essence.
Dude, why is this happening to us?
We were talking about cotton candy.
We had
earlier.
a whole
discussion, whole ass conversation
about cotton candy
before we started recording. Like we were trying to figure out what the flavor of cotton candy was because we were like, it's not. When both of us said that it was just like sugar.
It was just sugar.
But we looked it up and it's like vanillin and like methyl actin vanillin or something. There's like three main.
Just chemicals.
It's just chemicals. And that's it.
And then we were talking about Mythical More and how they...
Good Mythical
Morning. And I only watch Good Mythical More.
That's so funny.
And how they like were talking about cotton candy and putting it in milk. Yeah. And they're talking about flavors of cotton candy. Whole discussion. And then this comes up.
It's a cotton candy essence.
Essence.
Or you can hold it in your left hand and whisper sweet nothings to yourself.
Oh.
Isn't that cute?
You liar. You kissed her.
Okay. When to use it? Call on kunzite after a breakup or a major disappointment, or when you're beating yourself up about something. You don't need... Huh?
Like when he kissed her.
Exactly.
Okay, anyways.
You don't need permission to be here. You belong. If you forget that, pause, tap into kunzite's pink prismatic vibration, and let love rule. And then the thing at the bottom says, open up your love channel.
That is so...
And I think it's like love to yourself specifically is what I got from that.
Yeah.
But,
I love that a lot. Let's see what the sheep has to say. We have the sheep and blackberry. And the word is devotion.
Okay.
The sheep...
You kissed her.
Literally. I'm going to use that quote for the rest of my life.
Forever, yes.
The sheep and blackberry calls us to focus on our commitments, whether they're to a partner, a job, a creative practice, or a spiritual tradition. Sheep are innocent and vulnerable and must be watched over and guided, like the Dark Watchers. Blackberries are symbols of protection with their large, brambling thorns. Their abundant fruit, trading with the Dark Walker, also symbolizes prosperity. Combining the energies of the two gives us a direction. Honor our promises, allowing them to fruit and flourish. And it was upright. In what people or practices do you find wisdom and stability? Remember to care well for these sources of guidance and protection. And the question is, how can I better care for my relationships, spiritual practices, or work? I feel like this all goes back to infidelity, guys.
Don't do it.
Don't do it, and also love yourself. Be devoted and care for yourself.
Yes. And that's all the wisdom we have for you today.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning in. Catch us again next week.
Yes, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Reddit, YouTube,
and podcasts places.
Anywhere. I mean, you're already listening to us. You can find us that way.
You can find us.
Yes. Thank you.
You liar.
You liar. You kissed her.